if you've just played the episode, this part was actually meant to be the end. But I know some of you don't get to the end. So I'm going to do a few plugs. YouTube, the man who's on right now, you're going to listen to him, absolutely. But the man who's on right now, the YouTube channel is The Regular Runner. But don't just stop at YouTube. Listen carefully. No, come closer. Don't just stop at YouTube. Go on Instagram, The Regular Runner. This guy here wasn't on Instagram before I got on his case. Because to me, I find Instagram to just be fun, all out fun. So he's on there, Regular Runner, and on Instagram as well. Is it the same, Regular Runner?
It's theregularrunner.ig.
There, done. Right. Coming up on this episode, we've got Matt. Now, this has never happened before where I've got a co-host. I don't mean a guest. So this is what we're going to talk about. So we're going to talk about some topics that people get judged for. We all both have 4 topics we want to cover. So topics we get judged for. I'm going to talk about Nike's Vomero Premium, got a sexy new color. And then Matt is going to be in pink strawberry shorts. Yeah?
Yeah.
It sounds exciting. Trust me, it is. And then we're going to plug in a few things that you need to talk about. The man's injured. I'm running Brighton 10K, Bosch, and he's going to tell you about a YouTube channel you should follow called
Not Fast, Not Last.
And I'm going to tell you about Sam Light It Up. Right, let's start with the episode. Part of this is authenticity and also just flying by the seat of our... What's the expression?
Seat of our pants.
That's the one. But let's brand it as authenticity. Just got to do it how we
Not
how
just
we
making it up
do
as we go along, right?
Absolutely. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And so, Matt, I thought about it. And I thought, you know what? Some people have guests on this podcast. How does that differ when you have a co-host? And in my opinion, the only difference is somebody owns the podcast and then another person attends and then there's another one next week. But I want to just challenge that norm a little bit and go, how do we make this truly, because people bang on about community, but it's never quite, you know. So
it's got to be a two-way thing, right?
Absolutely.
I think the idea of a co-host is the co-host comes in with their own ideas and then you get to bounce off that a little bit.
There we go. And that's all I want to do with this. So whilst I might impose onto you the structure of what we do, at no point am I going to lead the conversation. I'm just going to sort of spell out what I try to do with the podcast and do what you want with that. But the one thing I want to do is make sure, one, maybe people that are in tune to my community, I've never heard whoever is co-hosting the episode with me, and therefore bring people to your community at the end of the day, try to just blare it all into one.
No, and I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to join and come chat with you, because I'm still quite new to this YouTube game. I mean, I've been doing it for 12 months, but my community is way smaller than your community, but it's a passionate community and it is building.
Nah, but you know what, Matt? Really, how many subscribers do you have on your channel?
337, I think, at the moment.
Do you know how many I have in mine?
Is it 24,000?
No, 279.
Oh, this on the new channel, you mean?
See. So, but as we go, I'm hoping, so those numbers go up together,
Yeah.
And who's to say that the podcast should only go out on a Sunday? If you've got something you want to talk about, put it on your channel. If you want to podcast it, my door is always open. You just need to have a chat with your missus. I'll chat with my missus and make sure that they let us do it, so...
Yeah,
that's it.
It's actually worked out quite well at the moment, because we don't have a space where I can record at home. So when you see my videos, I never really do any recording at home. It's because we don't really have a space for it. But we're in an Airbnb this weekend because it was our wedding anniversary this week. So we've driven up to Lancaster today, and I've hijacked the kitchen.
So during your wedding anniversary, you're on a podcast with me.
Well, the wedding anniversary was 2 days ago, so...
All right, fine. Less guilty. But
don't worry about that.
Absolutely honored. Hey, so Matt, 2 minutes. For those that don't know who you are, and as I say, The authenticity here, part of your intro will also be me learning stuff. So quick 2 minutes. Tell us who Matt is before I then break down how the podcast is going to go.
Yeah. So, first of all, my name's Matt. Between me and my wife Becky, we set up the channel about 18 months ago, and we basically, at the time, we were quite new to parkrun ourselves.
What's the channel?
So the channel is The Regular Runner, and
Right.
the idea behind that.
If you guys don't make it to the end of the podcast and the episode, let's start there. Stop what
Yeah.
you're doing, pause this podcast, go to YouTube and find The Regular Runner, right? You know what to do when you get there. Hit that subscribe and all that kind of stuff. Get to watching Matt's content, right? Sorry, carry on.
It's all right. So, yeah, the channel is The Regular Runner, and the idea is we're regularly people.
Oh, hold on, Matt. Oh, sorry, Matt. Sorry. I've just noticed there are a few people that have carried on listening to this podcast and they haven't done what I said. So just give me 1 second. I said, go to YouTube, find The Regular Runner, and make sure you subscribe to the man. All right, fine. Sorry, Matt. I won't interrupt again. I just know, you know how sometimes you listen to people say subscribe and you just watch the video. You and I both do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right,
And sometimes it sort of fades into the background because you say it all the time, don't you? But no, I really do appreciate it if people come and check us out. But yeah,
let's go.
The channel is called The Regular Runner, and the idea is that we are regular people, and we're going out and we're running regularly to see if we can get any better. And we started the channel originally because we were building up confidence doing group runs and park runs and races by watching the kinds of videos that we were watching that we create now. So if they were a benefit to me, I figured they'd be a benefit to somebody else as well.
Love that.
And that's how it started. And over the last 12 months, I've had people come up to me saying that we inspired them to try parkrun. And as far as I'm concerned, that's mission complete. If one single person went to a parkrun, all of the equipment and the software that I pay for to make these videos, it's all been worth it because that was what I set out to do.
No, I hear you. I think for me, your value in, and you probably don't know this, but for those of you guys listening, we are in a WhatsApp group with fellow creators. And the contributions, the input that everyone puts into that WhatsApp group, sharing tips and all the experiences and all this kind of stuff, I find very valuable. And I have to tell you, I always pay attention when you chip in because there is a lot of insight in what you offer. And it is based on that I kind of went, actually, you know what? If I was to talk on this topic, I'd love to have Matt's perspective on this. So thank you for the intro. I'm gonna quickly introduce. However, I don't know how long you have. So when you need to go, Matt, please.
We are good, don't worry.
All right, fine. Now, I've started banging on my Instagram about things that are getting to me because I feel runners, either of a certain caliber, level of experience, or runners of a certain type, have started to be judged, okay, for whatever reason. Now, some people like to see it as elitism. Some people... I actually had a guy comment saying, actually, it also is the other way around where you have amateurism, which I never thought about. And so when we talk of runners being judged, you and me automatically think, oh, it's the new runner that's going to be judged. Actually, there's a lot of judgment the other way. And so reached out to Matt and said, Matt, let's try and come up with some topics that we feel runners get judged about. We won't say what topics we all came up with. We're going to randomly just spew them out at you. So we've got the main topic. So the podcast always takes shape with the main topic. Secondly, because I've got visions of the podcast, Matt, I've got a section which I call Fake It Till You Make It. Now, I'm going to ask you as well to think on the spot on a product you want to highlight. Okay? Now, this could be headphones. This could be running shoes. This could be, I don't know, anything that you feel a runner could benefit from. I've got one myself, and I'll get to it. And then the episode always ends with highlighting either a key event that's coming up. So in the spirit of faking it till you make it, if people wanted to run with Matt, right? What's Matt doing? Or either that or you call out another YouTube channel that you feel other people need to check out and watch. Yeah?
Sounds good. Sounds Perfect. Good to me.
With that said, I'm going to throw it to you. What is your first thing that you feel runners get judged about?
Okay, I'm going to start with something that is very personal to me at the moment, and that's
Mm-hmm.
body image. Because I think you've been through this recently as well, because you went through a bit of a weight loss journey recently. And I have definitely been judged in the past because I don't have the body of a runner. And that's
Oh,
something that is very personal to me at the moment because I'm currently on a bit of a weight loss journey.
yeah.
Because more for my health than anything, but I definitely feel that I've gone to races. I did the Mid Cheshire 5K a few months ago, which is one of the
Mm-hmm.
fastest 5Ks in the country. And I got to that start line feeling almost like I didn't belong there because
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
surrounded by these people that had your sort of typical runners' bodies. You know, the
Yeah.
slim, the streamlined, the aerodynamic and ready to go. And then there's me, I'm 90 kilos. I am carrying some extra weight, I know I am, but I'm pushing hard. I've been training hard all year. And yeah, I
Yeah.
delivered a PB, but I almost felt like I wasn't supposed to be there on that start line.
Yeah.
And it's something that really has affected my personal feelings about myself as a runner.
Yeah.
That's actually driven me to a point where I think I mentioned it to you recently, where I actually want to go through a body recomposition stage,
Yeah.
where I want to drop some of that excess fat, maybe build up some more muscle, and just feel more athletic just in the way that I look. Not because I'm not achieving in my running, I'm getting faster all the time.
Yeah.
And I think you've been through something quite similar recently, haven't you? Where you've dropped quite a load of weight before one of your
Yeah.
races recently. And I find that really inspiring coming from someone like yourself, because you've run obviously all these world marathon majors, and it's one of those things. I think it puts people off, doesn't it? Entering those big
Absolutely.
races, you
Yeah.
know, feeling like I don't belong there because I don't look like a runner, I don't feel like a runner.
Yeah.
Why should I get on that start line? And it's one of those things that it's wrong to think like that, because so many people start off in a lower level of fitness, and you have to build up, right?
Yeah.
And everybody starts somewhere. I didn't start running until I was 35 years old, and I'd been quite inactive for years before that. So I had a low level of fitness to start with, and I had to build up from there. And I'm doing really well from where I am so far. When I started off running, I was 105 kilos, so I've dropped a load of weight since then.
Sheesh. So wait, 105, and now you're on.
88 at the moment.
Oh, that's impressive. That's impressive. You know,
Yeah,
I'm carry on, carry on. You know, it's good. It's good to hear this mirrored back to me. You know, so please
yeah.
carry on. Please carry on. I'm only gonna give my perspective on it or my comment when you're done with your topic. So please, I'm in co-host mode.
So when you run on from that sort of body image thing, you then sort of run into the other issue as well, which is what runners eat, because a runner's diet is very carb heavy. Let's face
Wait,
it.
so is this? Have you moved on to your second topic?
No, this is part of the same thing.
Okay,
You know,
fine, fine.
as a bigger runner,
Yeah,
we're told avoid fats, reduce your carbs, have a calorie deficit, and then we're running endurance races, 10Ks, half marathons,
yeah, which is the
marathons.
contradiction. Yeah,
It contradicts itself. And how do I'd like your take on this, how you balance those contradicting thoughts of, oh, I want to try and lose some weight, I want to try and get healthier, but at the same time, to fuel this running, I have to go against the common conception of what we should be doing with our diet. And
I like
then
that.
and that really contradicts the thought of, me being worthy of standing on that start line,
Yeah,
feeling like, have I fueled right? Almost for someone who's trying to lose weight, it's even harder to fuel. You don't
yeah,
feel like you've got the right body type, the right body shape, because
yeah.
you don't look like a runner.
Absolutely.
How can you run a half marathon when you weigh almost 90 kilos when the good runners weigh 60 kilos.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Matt, I think this is a very big one. We could do this episode just on this. It's a very good topic that you've raised, and I widen it to the tough experiences I've had weren't even just body weight. It even goes to color of skin.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I rock up on a start line on some of these park runs and I look around and there's me and another black guy. You know what I mean? So when you say look, not just wait. So there is that. And then there is, as you say, which is a universal thing where body image, even just outside of running.
Oh, yeah.
You know, do I belong here? Am I an imposter? And all this kind of stuff. And I like that you started with this because I think there are two angles. There is the everyone else's opinion of you. And I've had people say to me, but Aubrey, you don't look like a runner. I feel like that's easier to solve than my insecurity about how I feel I look.
Absolutely. And
Do
I
you know
think,
what I mean?
yeah, I think other people's view, especially if you get those negative opinions, and fortunately in this community, I think they're less frequent than the good opinions. I think this is a really positive community, generally speaking.
Absolutely.
But sometimes it's those negative opinions that almost shout loudest, and they're the ones that stick in your mind and affect your own personal opinion of yourself.
Yeah, and I don't know what that is. Why that is, man. Like even on YouTube, you and I are both on YouTube. You could have like, I don't know, 20, 100 comments, and you just have that one donut that wants to be an idiot and say one thing. Now, you've had 20 comments that are, you know, we love what you're doing. You're inspiring us. You're doing this. But one donut.
It's that one
just
bad
says,
one that you remember.
Yeah. And that's the one, you know. And that could be of a video or something you have said. That's different compared to the commenting about how you look.
Yeah.
The first time I got knocked, it wasn't even on my video. But there was a video where Ben and Cole paced me to a 10K PB. I was attempting a sub 50. Somebody put a comment on Cole's video to say, this is why you're not progressing as a runner. You're busy pacing this overweight runner over here. Why don't you focus on actual training, right? That hit me because I somewhat got used to people saying stuff on my videos. But the fact that they even went as far as commenting on someone else's video about me, and it hit me hard. And I want to thank you for raising that point. I think it's a very valid point. It's one that I don't think we're going to solve, but just bringing it to the front of this episode, to the front of people's minds and go, actually, this is an issue and people are dealing with it.
Yeah. And to your subject of pacing people, the job of a pacer is always going to be to pace somebody slower than them. You wouldn't be an effective pacer if you wasn't faster than the people you were pacing.
Yeah.
And I paced my first ever race a couple of months ago at the Bury 10K, and I was pacing 70 minutes. I did a 10K in 50 minutes a few weeks beforehand, and I was pacing 70 minutes, and I was running with people who were really struggling. Your job as a pacer in that situation, it's, for a start, no run is wasted time. You're still going out, you're still running, it's still exercise, you're still going to be contributing to your fitness in some way, shape or form. Even if you're running slowly, it's an easy run. We're always being told to run in zone 2. But as a pacer, my job was to be there and to cheer other people on and to get them over the line and achieve those goals. And there were people that were chasing me down in that final 100 meters who were running really big PBs, and I was cheering them on all the way through that line. And it's one of the best feelings ever when you do that. It's got nothing to do with whether you can run faster than that, and got everything to do with did you help somebody to achieve their goals today, which is one of the best things you can do in running.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, man. So I'm gonna give you my one. Let's alternate. So my one is run walking. I've had people being judged for walking at a race, and the statement that gets made, um, look, if you walked, you can't say you ran a marathon. If you walked, you can't say you ran 5K. It's in the word, run. Okay. And the reason I wanted to get to this is I've been doing these rants, like I said, and tomorrow's rant is exactly about this. That to me, I find it more of a watch. I find it more glorious, more fulfilling to watch someone that can barely make it to their 5K, where their goal is not a time, it's can I finish a 5K?
Yeah.
They get to a 10K, can I actually finish the 10K? Now, when you get yourself to a marathon point and you go, I'm going to go run a marathon, I don't know. The circles we found ourselves in, we're all chasing times. But I remember a time where I was uncertain. Can I run 5K without stopping? And I couldn't. When you see someone like that, how dare you then nullify or take away the achievement that they've finished that distance simply because they walked some? Now, I want to take your input on this because I don't want you to just side with me because you're co-hosting with me. But for me, I'm friends with, and he won't mind me saying this, that Ben is running, that Ben Felton. Yeah? That guy is fast. He did a video with his sister, however, pacing his sister at, I want to say Valencia half, very recently.
Yeah.
And the goal was for her to run sub 2 hours. A goal was that. B goal is to get a PB. The PB she was going in with was 2 hours 8. So she managed to get B goal, but she didn't run the sub 2 hours. Now, that video for me makes much more of an interesting watch than when I watch Ben Felton running, I don't know, half marathon in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Not quite 20 minutes, but you get what I'm saying. You know, so I don't want people stealing other people's achievements simply because someone's finished a marathon. They can't say they ran a marathon because, I guess, being pedantic using the word because they walked some of it. I'd love to have your take on it.
So I'm going to give you an exclusive here because I've not officially announced it. I've told people, but I'm going to give it an exclusive on the Bigger Than Running podcast.
Come on.
So I'm in an Airbnb in Lancaster at the moment. Tomorrow I'm going running Winglatter Park Room, which is in Keswick. But the reason we're in Lancaster is we're going to Lancaster Castle tomorrow.
Right.
That is going to be the finish line for an ultra marathon that I have entered next year.
Gotcha.
I've never run a marathon. My longest run to date is 23 kilometers, and I've signed up to a 68 kilometer ultra marathon.
As you do.
As you do. Now, realistically, there is no way I am going to run the entire distance from start to finish of that ultra marathon. Realistically, there is going to be huge chunks of it where I'm going to be hiking up hills.
But ultra runners do that all the time.
But they're still called ultra runners.
Oh, I think we might need to cut this into a reel. Exactly that point. I like that. No, please say that again. I'm going to include this in the reel. I want you to highlight that point because I've got a friend, right? This guy, his name is Chris, YouTuber as well. Here we are running. It took me to Dorking and we did something Downs. What do they call them?
Is it the South
North
Downs?
Downs.
All right.
Yeah. I was there trying to do, my Rambo running up this thing. And he just stayed back and said, amateur, right? Because everyone knows that you walk up this thing. So I want you to land that point again because I think people need to hear exactly that.
Yeah, like I said, ultra runners, they will never run the entire distance of a race. They will always, unless you are the elite of the elite, unless you're David Roche, they're going to be hiking up hills. They're going to be walking big chunks. And we still call them ultra runners. They're still ultra runners, not walkers.
Mic drop. Mic drop right there, Matt. That's what we needed. Right, I'm gonna throw it back to you. What's your second one?
Well, I actually want to build on yours a little bit
Okay, go on.
further, if that's okay, because I'd like to tell you a little bit of a story. So a couple of years ago, I was running a 10k race
Uh-huh.
in on the coast of Lancashire in a town called Lytham St Hans. It was a Remembrance Day run, and in the first half of the run, the weather was atrocious. It was rainy, it was windy, it was freezing cold. I just wanted to get to the end, so I was
Right.
running as hard as I could. And I ran the first half of that race in, I think, 28 minutes. And then I turned round and we were going back into the wind. The wind was in our faces. And as we were going back, I was still running a decent pace. And a guy comes up and overtakes me. And he got 20 metres in front of me and he stopped and started walking. So obviously I overtook him again. I was still running. A minute later, he comes running past me
Right.
and then stopped and walking. He was Jeffing the race. He was following the Jeff Galloway method, which is structured run walking to get from start to finish. He was running 1 minute on, 1 minute off. He beat me in that race. I couldn't catch him. So people can say that walking in races isn't valid, but some people can legitimately run faster races by using structured walking intervals as part of their run strategy to help them expand their endurance to last the whole race. That guy beat me that day, and he legitimately beat me, and I couldn't do anything about it.
You know, I think for me, it's the spirit that makes someone say such things. It's the intention of malice. It's the intention of judging. That's the bit that kind of rubs me the wrong way. It's just want to tear someone down as opposed to giving them the achievement and acknowledging the effort. You know, so
Yeah, it's a valid strategy to walk, and let's be honest, the Couch to 5K program is built on walking
right.
during your running intervals, and I took a long time to get through the Couch to 5K program. It's supposed to be, I think, a 10-week plan. It took me 16 weeks to get through it because
Yeah.
I hadn't been active for a long time before that, and we were just coming out of the COVID lockdowns when I started to do the Couch to 5K program, and I had to redo quite a lot of weeks in that program to get to the 5K for the first time. And then I went to park run and found this great hill in the middle of the park run and ended up walking up the hill, and it took me another 5 or 6 times before I actually managed to run the entire way. And finishing that park run for the first time without walking was a massive achievement for me. I went into the cafe after that and I got the biggest coffee and the biggest piece of cake I could find just to celebrate the fact that I'd completed this run, because that was something for me. That was an achievement for me, and it was worth celebrating. And
I like that.
it's worth cheering people on who are trying to do that, who might not quite be there yet, but they're still trying, they're still getting out there, and they could be the ones who in 12 months time are running the 27-minute park run, the 26-minute park run.
That's right. That's right.
It's perfectly valid, and like I said before, everybody has to start somewhere, and you don't know what sort of situation that person's in either. They could be suffering with an injury. At the moment, I've not run an entire park run for 4 weeks because I've had an IT band injury. I've been going to park run and trying to run, and only getting a few kilometers of the way in and then just walking the rest. There's videos on my channel of me walking halves of park runs just recently because I've had a bit of an injury. But I'm still going out there. I'm still getting up on a Saturday morning, going down there and doing a run.
You've been going to park walks. You're not doing park runs. That's what the trolls are going to tell you. You've been doing park walks.
I have volunteered as a park walker a few times in the past, and it's an enjoyable role to do at park run, and sort of cheering people on who might be struggling.
Hit us with your next one. I'd love to know what you came up with.
Okay, so I'm going to bring in social media in the next one, comparing each other on social media.
Oh,
because I'm going to be transparent here. Obviously, I do YouTube these days. Yeah. But before I started the channel, I had not been on any social media for 12 years.
Oof.
I came off everything. I wasn't on Facebook. I wasn't on Instagram. I wasn't on.
Yeah.
I came off everything, and so I was completely ignorant of all social media for 12 years, and then took up running. And obviously, Strava then came into that, for better or for worse, because we all tell ourselves if it's not on Strava, it didn't happen, right? But I've certainly gone through periods, like at the moment I've been suffering with an injury. I've gone through periods where I felt like, should I even bother putting things on Strava?
Yeah.
I'm not finishing runs at the moment. I've been switching to just doing strength work and cycling on a static bike. And sometimes I feel like, do I even put those on Strava? Is anyone interested?
Yeah.
And me putting those on Strava, are they going to think that I'm just copping out because the weather's changed?
Yeah.
The weather's gotten worse. But then you've also got the side of it where everybody is constantly comparing each other on Strava. You can see everybody's park runs. You can see everybody's race results. You've got all of those top 10s for all the different Strava segments. I know there's a guy near me who does nothing but go around trying to beat everybody's Strava segments, and he spends his life doing it.
Legend.
Yeah, and I think that can go both ways though, because you've got the one guy that goes around trying to beat all the Strava segments in a local area, and people look down on him like, oh, he's just going around trying to sort of show off.
Yeah.
But then on the other side, if you're nowhere near the top 10 on a Strava segment, I'm certainly not near top 10s on any Strava segments.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people look at that and they're like, oh, well, you're not really much of a competition then, are you?
Yeah.
What's right then? Where are you supposed to sit? Are you supposed to sit in the top 5? Top 10? And I think I'm part of a athletics club which can get quite competitive at times. And a lot of the people that are quite high on a lot of the Strava segments in where I live are people within my club.
Oh, I see.
So then you get down to track night and you think, oh, well, these guys all think that they're the bee's knees because they've got all the Strava crowns in the local
That's
area.
Right.
So, yeah, I think sometimes just putting runs on Strava and making those segment efforts visible. I've got Strava Premium, so my name shows up on all those different top leaderboards. And the only leaderboard that I'm anywhere near the top of is the one where I've run round a circle the most times, because that's where I did all my training sessions all the way through the summer. So
gotcha. I think as well as just to give you my personal experience on that, as you mentioned my YouTube channel before, and I'm very transparent. There is this marathon coming up. I'm training for it. And I got banned quite early on when I was sharing my mileage. Yeah, so people could see. So especially if you're a shoe reviewer, right? So if I share my mileage as I'm leading up to this marathon, there are people watching, and I mean watching.
Yeah.
What's he doing? Aubrey, the reason you didn't finish that time your mileage per week is so low. Or I'm telling you about a shoe, which I have an opinion about. People will then go to my Strava to go, okay, well, right, so this shoe, he did this run, and people will then come and comment, we only saw that you only did 20K in that shoe before you did the review. You only did so there is a lot of scrutiny as well. And some of it is good because it pressures you to take your craft to a point where you can be accountable.
Yeah.
And it's some of it is criticism that says, actually, if you're going to go to this marathon, have reverence and respect it enough to train properly for it. So there is a positive side. But I think the other side that you're pointing out is that actually, if I'm this transparent about stuff and people are then going to be judgmental and demonstrate their toxicity towards me because of this, it led me to a point where I privated everything I do.
Yeah.
And that's a very sad place to be.
Yeah. I mean, we effectively we are social media people.
Absolutely.
That's what we do, and to have to turn some of that off because people are criticizing how you use it is that's wrong, right? That doesn't make
Absolutely.
sense.
I mean, it's,
But
it's it's the world we live in, man, and I think
it
I think
is.
it's what's burnt me and have that experience that to a point it's served me very well that I've developed very thick skin for this nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, don't you? But
Absolutely.
it's interesting you should mention about your mileage because my coach is he's intentionally quite a low mileage coach. So when he builds my training, he focuses on quality in everything that I do, not necessarily volume. His idea is that if you get the quality in first, the volume will eventually get there.
Gotcha.
But if he puts too much volume on you from day one, then that's just going to lead to injury, illness, and lack of consistency.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting that you should mention, thoughts about how much mileage you're doing before a marathon, because not everybody's training is the same. Not everybody's body responds the same to training. And so, putting your mileage on Strava, oh, I was running 60 miles a week for this marathon, and people saying, oh, that's not enough. Maybe you should be running 80 miles a week or 100 miles a week. Like, okay, yeah, people like Cole and Ben are running 100-mile weeks.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for years. We can't all do that. And just because we're on
Absolutely.
YouTube doesn't mean we can do that.
Absolutely.
If I ran that kind of mileage, I'd be broken in a week. I'd be in a cast. So, it's interesting that you should mention, how much mileage you're doing, and people saying, oh, maybe your race didn't go the way you wanted it to because your mileage wasn't right, because mileage isn't the be all and end all of good performance. Quality
Absolutely.
is quite often more important, and consistency over a long period of time is more important.
I'm fully with you. I think so too.
But I definitely have seen people who will regularly post 100 kilometers, 110 kilometers a week in, week out, every single week of the year. And then I've seen this happen where they're doing this mileage all the time. They never have any let up. And no one can say they're not doing the mileage, but then they're not progressing in their races. And it's because, yeah, okay, they're going out, they're doing all of this mileage all the time, but the quality is missing.
No, I hear you. I think it's an interesting take. All right, here's mine. The gear that people get judged for. Again, back to my rants. Why are we judging people for hydration vests?
I've been judged for this. I went to a park run, I wore a hydration vest, and people judged me for it. But the reason I wore a hydration vest is I did the pre-course check to make sure the course was safe for everybody to run on, and I was there at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I was going to be there for 3 hours before the cafe opened. So yeah, I brought a hydration vest because I was going to be out for 3 hours. I needed a drink.
Why do you need to rationalize it? Why do you need to tell people that you had been there at 7 a.m.?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I didn't explain it, but that was the reason why I had that day. But
yeah,
I mean, I've seen people go out and park run. They get out of the car with the vest on and do a park run, and they get back in the car. And we shouldn't be judging them if that's what makes them feel happy running. If that's what makes them feel comfortable, gives them somewhere to carry their phone and their keys. Then
I want to know. I want to know why though. I'm with you. We shouldn't. I want to know why it's judged that way. Why do you think? I'm not saying you do it. I'm saying why do you think people judge someone wrongly for wearing a hydration vest?
I think people compare the experience of someone wearing a hydration vest at parkrun to going out and doing a race. If you go out to a 10k race, for example, you'll usually have a water station at halfway with a little bottle of water, And a lot of the top runners will generally quite often just run straight past it, because on a 10K, a lot of the top runners they're only running for 30 minutes, right? So they're not probably don't need a drink at that time. They'll get their bottle of water at the end, but they reflect their own performance and their own decision to not take that water onto everybody else and say, oh, well, I don't need water for a 10K, so why should you need water on a 5K? But that's not fair on people. That I know people.
That's assuming the hydration vest. I'd excuse the name for it. That's assuming, because hydration vest also has pockets. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard people that go, I wear one because safest place to put my phone, safest place to have my keys. I also require an inhaler. I also require, and I will list all the reasons. And for some, honestly, it's gone to, I just like the look.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what that person's decision, I don't get it.
I'll be honest with you, I am completely on your side with this one. And like I said, I'm going to be training for an ultra marathon next year, which means I'm going to have to test my kit. I've been and bought a new hydration vest for that race.
Right.
And I'm not going to wait until race day to wear it. I'll wear it at park run first to make sure that it doesn't rub and that it's not painful. Because at least if it does rub, I'm only running for 5K before I can take it off again.
All right, back to you. What's your one?
Okay, I'm going to add a bit of an interesting one here. People who take gels for a 5K.
All right, okay.
Because I've seen this. I've seen people take gels for a 5K and people take gels for a 10K. And physiologically, our bodies don't need to take fuel.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Are you benchmarking that because of the distance? Because 5K to Cole over there is 14, 15 minutes. 5K to Janice over there is 50.
So the benchmark I'm putting on it is that generally speaking, and this doesn't apply to everybody because everybody's body is different.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, most of us don't need to take any fuel on for 90 minutes for exercise.
Got it.
If you're going to be exercising for more than 90 minutes, the rule of thumb is, if it's going to be more than 90 minutes, start fueling from the beginning so you don't hit the wall.
Got it.
So for most people who are not suffering with diabetes or anything like that, you're not going to need a gel for a 5K or a 10K, generally speaking. But, and this is my thought on it,
Yeah.
if that gel makes that person feel happier, feel more comfortable, or enjoy that run more because they feel like even if it's a placebo, even if it just helps their mind to get into race mode or run mode for that park run or that 10K, then it works.
Got it.
It might not be the sugar that helps them. It might just be the feeling of, I've done something that got me into race mode. It's kind of like my warm-up ritual. If that's the bit that gives that person's brain that little bit of a kick to say, right, I'm in race mode now. I've got the energy in me. I know I can run. Let's go for it. If that makes them run 2 minutes faster than they would have done otherwise, then the gel's done its job, hasn't it?
On.
It's done its job. It doesn't need to be a physiological benefit.
I like what you said in terms of separating the two things. So there might not be a nutritional, scientific need or benefit as such in literal sense.
But it might be a psychological benefit.
They just want to. Placebo. Or back to your ultra training example, they might be starting to get their stomach used to that gel and they might just do it standardly just to see the impact of it. So yeah. I take your point. I think it's a valid point.
And like I said with the running vest conversation before,
yeah,
if you're going to take a gel and you've never had that gel before and you're not sure if that gel is going to go wrong, what would you rather do? Would you rather do it at a park run that might take you 30 minutes to get to the nearest toilet, or would you rather do it in a 10K race where it's going to take an hour? because I know which one I'd rather do.
I hear you. I hear you. And I think that goes across the board for anything that's got a technical impact that might not apply in your current circumstance. So, for example, the hydration vest, you might not need it then. The gel, you might not need it then. The carbon-plated shoe for that Zone 2 run, you might just want to be breaking the shoe in or try to see how you feel. So I get that. But again, if it makes you happy, if it gives you a placebo, if it helps you enjoy your journey in running, hey, and it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't injure you. I mentioned carbon plates. I know the carbon plate police are going to be listening to this. They might come after me. And if it doesn't injure you, but it helps you keep your consistency, the joy in running, hey, why not?
Exactly. And I there's so many things in life where doing something little makes the whole much more enjoyable.
Absolutely.
And if that's something as simple as taking a gel on the start line of a park run, and that makes it more enjoyable, then that's what counts, because this is a hobby at the end of the day. We're not making money from it. It's a hobby. We're supposed to enjoy it.
Absolutely. Very good segue. It's almost like we practiced this, Matt. Very good segue to my third point. And my third point is, allow me to just jog. Allow me to just be a hobby. Allow it to... So, for example, I got into running and I get in these race vlogs. You and I make race vlogs. We enjoy it. I went to winter run, right? Now, Matt, I'm going to say a few things that might be slightly inappropriate, but it's what I do, right? I'm black. Black people are powered by music. I hear music, I have to move in a certain way. It's as simple as that. So I forget that I'm in a race. I'm over there at winter run. Now, you know, winter run, those guys go all out on a street entertainment. Now, running hurts. As I'm running, my lungs are telling me to stop. My heart's telling me to stop. My muscles are stuck. And then I hear this music that conveniently makes me stop. And I'm there dancing to, right? So obviously I'm going to dance to it. But I carry on filming. I get, oh God, it's street drummers. Oh my God, it's steel drums. Oh, it's, you know, so I throw all of that in. The next thing, oh my gosh, the trolls got on there. I can't believe I can't get into that race. And there you are just mucking about, just dancing like, hold on, you know? Or, as you say, some people just want to have a hobby. I'm not out here to replace Kipchoge. I just want to just enjoy this thing and just enjoy it for what it is. Because you know what? I wake up Monday, I go to work, I finish work, I've got kids. Or after that, I've got a fiance, got bills. I've got free time, just let me run. Why is it that you're judging me simply because, and not everyone will have this scenario, not everyone is a YouTuber, not everyone's an Instagrammer doing podcasts. Why is it that you've imposed this expectation of me that every time I go out for a run, I need to bust a gut. I need to be, why can't you just let me just enjoy it?
You know, I made an intentional decision this year. Back in spring, there was a lot of life stresses going on, and I'll not get into it, but I made an intentional decision to stop all training, all hard training, for about 3 to 4 weeks. And all of my runs were just going out and enjoying this skill that I've learned over the last 3 years of going out and being able to enjoy the outdoors in my area. Just go out running around parks, running up the river, enjoying nature, and just making the most of the time outdoors. Because so many of us have spent so many years, I work an office job, so I'm sat at a desk in front of a computer screen all day. I want to just get outside, get some vitamin D in me.
Just let me run.
And I wasn't running fast. I wasn't breaking any records. Yeah. I was just running to enjoy running. And like you mentioned about doing that in a race and getting involved with all the entertainment and stuff. That's what the entertainment's there for. It's not there for you to just run past and ignore it. Then people are out there standing there for hours upon hours. playing steel drums. I love a steel drum, and people are there playing steel drums for you. They're there to entertain you so that you can enjoy your run.
Absolutely.
I entered the Great Manchester 10K earlier on this year, and we agreed to pace one of our friends in her first ever 10K race. And we fully expected that I'd barely break out of zone 2 for the entire run. But honestly, it's one of the best runs I've done this year because we were just enjoying it. We were cheering people on. We were helping people out. We actually realised, I'd not met him at the time, but Michael Aarons, he was recording with his son, and I ran past in the background in his video, because I was just plodding along, cheering my friend on, who was running her first ever race. She ran a time that she never imagined that she'd even be capable of doing. Honestly, we just had the best time that day. And you know what? I paid good money to enter that race. If I want to go out and make the most of it, spend an hour and 15 minutes running a 10K, then I've got my money's worth out of it. And like I said, I pay for all my own race entries. If someone was to pay for me to enter a race, I'd give it my best shot. But if I've paid for a race myself and I go out and I just want to enjoy it, then that's what I'll do, because this, like I said, this is a hobby. We are supposed to enjoy running.
Absolutely.
It's not supposed to, and we call it endurance running because you're supposed to endure it, but why do you have to endure it?
I like that.
We've got a skill, we've got an ability to do something amazing, and we should embrace that and enjoy it sometimes.
Love that. I'll throw it back to you for your one.
Okay, I'm going to bring in probably a bit of a controversial subject, which is
here we go.
Road runners versus trail runners. Because road runners like to rib trail runners for not running fast, maybe walking a lot, and just going up and down hills for picnics. But then on the other side of it, you've got trail runners who criticise road runners because they only ever run on the flat and don't run uphill.
I like this one. You know what? I think this is the first one where I'm on the villain side, and I've been that judgmental guy. Anyway, but you brought it up. You carry on.
But obviously, I've given you the exclusive on the podcast today, so I am going all in on the Trail Ultra this year, or in the next year, I should say. And so I'm slap bang in the middle of this, because all of my time goals are road running goals. I only set time goals on the road. I don't set times on the trail, because my goal for trail is to go out and just do my best. Trails are so different to running on the roads that you can't really set time goals for them, because all trails are different. You might come around a corner and find that you've got to run up a 400-meter hill, which I had to do earlier on this year. It was disgusting, but I did it. But I'm a road runner that sort of put trails into my training this year to try and build on my strength and build on my form. And it was a really big help to my training. But I do know people who won't do trail running because they just want to avoid hills, damn it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know if it's the avoidance of the hills, because I know road runners that will specifically do hill sprints, hill training, but I don't know. I think there's a connotation. I think there's a link to trail running as a genre of running that people are judgmental about. So I'll give you a stereotypical meme picture of a trail runner, right?
I think I already know what you're going to describe. But go on, give it to me.
Exactly what I mean. So for me, I don't think it's the training or the prep that goes with it, but there's a stereotypical trail runner that people make fun of, and then you're going to see the memes of. I tell you what, there are three memes that I normally see: the trail runner, then you see the typical one you described on your first point that it looks like a typical road runner, and then you get the hybrid athlete. You know, the go on more, chest out, always runs without a top on. You know, that I think is the judgment that I have seen. And I won't act like a saint on this one. I think I've contributed to it somewhat.
Yeah, to be honest, I think we're all guilty of it. Even if it's just for fun, like we all like to have a joke, don't we?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I am I am a road runner at heart. I've entered this trail race. I'm gonna give it my absolute best. But ultimately, the reason
Wait,
I'm
Matt,
doing
what's
that,
the distance?
it's it's 36 miles. I'm trying to work out what that is in kilometers. I think I said 68 before, but I think it's 58 kilometers. It's a long one, but it's the way I'm looking at it. I'm periodizing my training. I've spent all of 2025 focusing on speed.
Okay.
I've really, really dialed in on speed throughout my training all the way through 2025.
Hold on. Let me just pause you a little second. A little second. What are your current times? Your PB times for, let's say 5, 10, half.
Okay, so 5K, 10K, half, I set all of my PBs this year.
Okay.
So 5K is 23:35.
Oh, okay.
10K is 49:57. I just scraped under 50 minutes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And what was what was really hard about that, I'll tell you the half in a second, but was really hard about the 50-minute 10K. I did it at Aintree Racecourse in August, and I was chasing the 50-minute pacer all the way around. And I didn't realise until the end the 50-minute pacer was chasing to gun time and not chip time. So the 50-minute pacer I worked out actually finished in under 50 minutes because they were running fast. They were aiming for gun time. They finished about 20 seconds ahead of me, and I thought I'd lost it. I thought I'd missed the time, and actually they were running quick, and I just nipped under by 3 seconds because I was refusing to look at my watch in the last kilometre.
Gotcha.
And then,
And the
yeah,
half?
in the half marathon, I've got unfinished business in the half marathon. So I had trained for a 1 hour 50 attempt. And then, as I mentioned, there was some life stresses that happened this year that really sort of impacted, not so much impacted my training, but impacted my headspace. And so I sort of decided to drop back some waves in the Manchester Half Marathon this year, and I ran with Jay from the Not Fast Not Last YouTube channel.
Okay.
And it was his first ever half marathon. He wanted to try and run a sub 2 hour half marathon.
Wait,
And
is this Manchester?
this was Manchester, yeah. And so
Is this
I
that
paced
video
him.
where he forgot his bib and had to go back to his house?
Yes. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
a
forgot
throwback.
he was staying in a hotel near the start line and had to go back
Yeah.
to his house to pick his bib up. But yeah, so
Jay.
I paced him to a sub 2 hour half marathon, despite the fact that was a PB for me as well. So
Yeah.
um,
What's Jay's channel?
that's Not Fast Not Last.
All right. So guys, please. Actually, no, I won't say this next bit. I'll be spoiling things. But just remember, I nearly said something, right? But anyway, okay. So, Matt, I like that, and I think it's right. We do judge each other. Sometimes it's banter, but sometimes it's not, especially when the judgment is falling on you. The last one I'm going to give, elapsed time. For those of you that don't know what that is, right? If you go out running and you start your time, let's say you started running at 12 o'clock and at 10 past you get to the traffic lights, pause your watch, or quarter past your laces come undone, pause your watch at some other point, and then you finish your run and it looks like you've been running 30 minutes, but the time is actually elapsed while you've been out running. It ends up being 12:40. So 10 minutes of that you weren't running. Now the Strava police will go on your Strava and go, well, it looked like you ran 5K. Your time on your run says 30 minutes. But we noticed that your elapsed time actually was 40. You've taken 10 minutes out of the time, and therefore we're going to let you have it, right? I get it. Now, if I was proclaiming that I've hit a 5K PB and I give you 30 minutes and my elapsed time says 50, that's a problem. But why do people feel to explain away. Secondly, you've got people that will say, I did an easy run. Now, I've seen the paces you're doing, bro. 4-minute big K pace, easy run for you. Are you sure? But again, it's because Strava police are going to be. So it's things like elapsed time, labeling your workouts a certain way, branding things as easy runs. When we both know that's your PB pace, bro. Don't lie to me. I feel like there is an insecurity that other people have sort of encouraged in others because of the judgment, and you feel people are going to say this, and therefore you can't just transparently share something. You have to label it a certain way, worry about elapsed times. To me, I feel like those are the kind of things that push people away from being transparent, or even worse, from the sport of running itself.
Yeah, I'm probably going to set some people's OCD off here. So I never pause my watch.
Okay.
If I start a run, my watch is running from the moment I start to the moment I finish. I never ever pause my watch to cross the roads or anything. I just leave it running, because at the end of the day, why does it matter? As far as I'm concerned, if I've gone out and done a run, I've got the training effects from that run. That's what matters to me. The time that goes up on Strava and whether I stopped at traffic lights or not, I don't really care about all that much. If it's something that I do care about, I'll go and find somewhere that doesn't have traffic, and I'll run on a track, or I'll run in a park where I don't have to cross any roads, and then I don't have to pause my watch on those runs where I really want to be going from start to finish.
I like that. I absolutely love that.
I mentioned before about one of the Strava segments near me where I've run round it nearly as many times as anybody else has done in the last 6 months. I think I did something like 70 laps of this circle. It's a 650 meter loop. And the reason I was doing it is because I was running my interval sessions there, and there's no roads to cross, because I didn't want to have to stop to cross any roads. So I was on a loop where there's no roads to cross in our area. And if I need to do a run where I don't want to be stopping and pausing my watch every 5 minutes, then I'll go somewhere like that and get my run done, and I'll focus on getting that done and getting the quality in there. If I'm just going to go out and just enjoy a run for the sakes of being outside, I don't really care if I have to stop at a traffic light, so I just leave my watch going. And that's probably going to set some people off, because I know some people like to pause their watch when they stop at traffic lights. I'm assuming you do, because you said you pause your watch, but...
It depends. So, again, annoyingly, I am in a new estate where you can't avoid the crossings, and you wanna make sure that when you look at your workout, and I like this angle of these discussions, Matt, where we're not just here to agree with each other. Okay, I know people that will log their warm up, close that workout, do the intense part of their workout, close that part, and then go do the cool down, and in one session they've logged 3 runs.
I will say I have been guilty of that in the past, but I've only been guilty of doing that.
I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I don't think, because for someone who wants to know what they did in the intense part, they don't want the average pace to be impacted by either side of it. That's fine, do you. Whereas me, I don't mind that part. But where I know I'm running a threshold run and it's pushing me to a max pace, and my workout is being judged at that pace. Now, I don't just mean crossing the road, because where I live, there is, if it's, you're stopping, you're going to stop for a while, because there is the railroad. There's a rail crossing, and what does that mean to my pace? What does that mean for my, so stuff like that. So I get that. But I think I like the freedom of what you've just described. The freedom of it is, I tell you what, maybe Garmin or Strava won't acknowledge that, but the training impact of what I've just done, regardless of what Strava says. All right, wait. Let's move on, because I've had you now. I don't know how long we've been on. Can you see the time?
An hour. Just over an hour.
Yeah. Right. So get ready with your product. get ready with your one thing. You don't have to show it. You could talk about it. But feel free to go pick something up that you want to highlight, something that you want people to know about. Here is mine. I'm a shoe reviewer. Running shoes are something I am fanatical about. My son loves Lego, all that kind of stuff. I do shoes. This shoe here, hold on. That shoe there, this is Nike's Vomero Premium. Now, the kind of runner that I am, comfort is always first. Now, this shoe's been out for a while. I did Run Reigate, and so I've had the pleasure. Now, Matt, you're married, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, fine. It's fine, I can say this to you. If running shoes were lingerie, yeah, they've just sent me. Oh my, can you see that?
They're very nice.
All I'm saying is, since it's your wedding anniversary, either speak to your missus nicely. Anyway, let me stop clowning. Why do I like the shoe? And most likely connected to my channel. If you want to see the reviews of this, you can go to it. I want to talk about not precisely this shoe, but a max cushion shoe in the spirit of this podcast. Not a carbon plated one, not a threshold one, but a shoe that just simply allows you to enjoy your running. Simply because this thing is a cushion. I have never ran in a shoe as comfortable as this. Now, for those of you that know running shoes, World Athletics will cap a legal shoe for racing. If you're going to be on podiums, you take it seriously at 40 millimeters of stack height. This thing is 56, right, at the back. At its shortest, it's 46. Now, some shoes don't even get to that. But at its shortest height, not only with the foam that it uses, it's got these two air units and ridiculous amount of stack height. I want you to just look at it. Now, there is a different shoe within this line, the Vomero line, the 18, which is more your accessible. But even that goes beyond that 40 mil. And then they've done the Vomero Plus. And then they put that on steroids and then got onto the Vomero Premium. If you're listening to this, please check this shoe out. And it doesn't necessarily have to be this shoe, but look at any max cushion shoe that throws away the concept of pace. Rather, the concept of comfort, because it's those shoes that maybe you've done a hard workout before that you want to have on to just look after your legs. Or maybe that's going to be your main shoe just to enjoy your running in. Throw on some headphones, listen to a latest music album, and just enjoy your run. If pace and time is not a factor, look at a max cushion shoe. And the one I'm going to recommend the most at the end of 2025, easily this one. Over to you, Matt. What do you want to highlight?
Right. I'm going to highlight a product which has been game-changing for me in running this year. And that's Happy Stride shorts. I am known...
What's that?
Happy Stride shorts. So I've been recognised by a few people now that I've always got brightly coloured shorts on when I'm running.
Oh, wait. Are those super vibrant and out there kind of pattern colour shorts?
Yeah, so I'm part of a bit of a social running group in the town where I'm from called the Berry Banana Boys. And we all wear Happy Stride banana shorts. Now, I don't just have the banana shorts. I'm going to be honest, I've got about 15 pairs of Happy Stride shorts, all different designs, all different colours.
Right.
They've been game-changing for me, particularly as a bigger runner, because they're so comfortable. Yeah. They've got the inner lining with pockets. Yeah. They don't move. They allow you to move your legs without riding up and without rubbing and no chafe. I've got friends who've run 260-mile ultra marathons over multiple days in Happy Stride shorts and had no discomfort caused by the shorts.
Is that the conventional spelling? Happy Stride shorts?
Happy Stride shorts. I'll send you the link so you can drop it in the description if you like.
Yeah.
They're a little bit expensive, I'll be honest, keep a lookout. They've always got deals on. They're such a good company, but they have been an absolute game changer for me. I started running in Sports Direct sweatshorts that, you know, you'd get chafing, they'd change colour if you started to sweat and things like that. And then I moved on to sort of budget Amazon shorts that had an inner lining. They were basically just gym shorts, for want of a better description. And they did okay for me for a while, and then I tried a pair of Happy Stride shorts. I'd put them off for a while because my wife was buying them, and she was like, "Oh, you should try them," and I wasn't keen at first, and then I tried a pair on, and honestly, they really have transformed the experience of running for me to a point where now I don't even think about the fact that they're brightly coloured. I've got a pair of bright pink ones with strawberries all over them. And people spot him. People spot him and recognize him. And...
Hold on. Hey, Matt, let's not wait for the link, right? I'm going to do a download of this when it's done, and then I'll edit it. Please send images. The image of you in pink strawberry shorts needs to be seen.
I'll see if I can find a picture for you. I'm sure there's one somewhere.
Perfect. All right, so this segment is sponsored by Happy Stride Shorts. Absolutely love it. I'm going to look into it. I'll try and see if I can follow them on Instagram and let them know that you're fully behind what they're doing. Okay. What's the very next thing you're doing and a YouTube channel you would like us to know about?
So the next thing for me is injury recovery. So I'm going to be focusing a lot on strength and conditioning over the next month or two. I'm actually banned from running for the next 2 weeks. So I'm going to be in the gym. I'm going to be highlighting the kinds of exercises we should be doing in the gym. We will be doing park runs. Becky will be covering those because she'll have the camera on her head. And then we'll be moving into the ultra marathon training and what that's going to look like over the next 5 to 6 months. So that's what's happening in my life. In terms of other channels that I want to highlight, I've got to say it's got to be Not Fast, Not Last. It's got to be Jay. He's a good lad, and I paced him in the half marathon recently. And if it wasn't for him, there is a good chance that I probably would have been nowhere near a PB time. But he talked me into pacing him to a time that was also my PB, so I at least got something out of that race, even though I stepped back. So I've got to give him a shout out.
Jake, not fast, not last.
That's the one.
Right. Nah, that's annoying because now I got to find another one. Now I've got a secret. There's a reason why I'm saying that. There's something upcoming, but I can't spoil it. Right. So anyway, I'll speak about mine. So right next to me here, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see my bib, Brighton 10K. And I recently set a 10K PB. I'm elite nowadays, man. I'm not messing about. I am super fast nowadays. I'm not messing around. We were invited to Loch Ness Marathon weekend, and I did a 10K PB over there. It was previously 48:20. I took it to 47:50. And so the goal is to break that. I would love to just dust off the 50 seconds and say I'm a 46 something 10K runner. So today I got a message from Sam, Light It Up Sam. He's also in the group. He asked me, "Hey mate, what are you doing for Brighton?" I was like, "Listen, I'm elite. I'm going to be in the first wave right amongst the elite and about to, try and win that thing." Actually, I've got a funny story too. I'll tell you straight after this. But anyway, the goal is to break 47:50. And I got my man Sam pacing me for it. So it's going to be really cool. And it's going to be a lot of really fun runners out there. So let me just ramble on. Ben is running. He's going to be out there. I'm going to be in fanboy mode. My guy Nick Bester is going to be there, fanboy mode. As I said, Sam, Light It Up, is going to be there. But the story I wanted to tell you. So I recently signed up to be a pacer or an ambassador of a new training app. It's called YouRun, right? And that's who I'm going to be training for my next marathon with, right? it started with a guy named Adam Clark and Charlotte Purdue and a guy you might know called Mo Farah, right? So they started this app. So they approached me. I said, yeah, let's do it. Anyway, so I'm talking to him today. He's like, anyway, how you feeling about Brighton? So I'm like, yeah, going all right, what's your goal? I tell him. And I then say, have you run it before? And he goes, yeah, I ran it last year. All right. What kind of time did you get, Clarky? And he goes, oh, I won it. I'm expecting a time, So I was like, we live in completely different worlds. But it's so good. It's so good to have had that sort of conversation with him.
It's funny you should mention Mo Farah because the first 10K race I ever ran was Mo Farah's last professional 10K race.
What was that?
Great Manchester 10K.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And do you remember your time?
My time, 1:07.
Yeah.
That was my first 10K.
Right.
It was.
Right.
It took me a long time to get to that distance, but I was really proud. I think I was in tears going over the line at the finish. That was a few years ago now.
It's what I say. Like to me, that's the story. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I have high respect, high regard for people that. By the way, Clarky ran it and he won it in 29 minutes. That is somebody's desired 5K PB. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I remember when I was saying to someone, I didn't think I was ever going to get to 30 minutes for a 5K PB. It's astonishing that people do 10Ks in that time.
And for me, honestly, it's that runner that I find I'd like to sort of be alongside. And it's that runner that inspires me to kind of make content for.
Yeah.
So, hey, Matt, this is the first of very many. I don't want to wear out my welcome, especially with your missus. But as we go, when there are current topics that we need to talk about, please consider this door always open. I'm going to try and... No, it's a joy. For me, it's a joy. Like for me, this conversation, a chat with a like-minded person, just talking random stuff, hopefully bring your community over mine, and we can just connect on normal, everyday stuff, So it's an absolute joy and a privilege to have spent time with you and gotten to know you like this.
Yeah, it's been great, man. I appreciate it.
All right, so this will go live, and then you get another permission slip for the missus. I'll do the same over here, and let's decide on a topic, see who else we can bring in. I don't know if this thing supports 3 people. Let's just have a conversation like we just done.